so frustrated with myself by my lack of willpower. And I was absolutely bewildered that I would argue with myself over having something. There's this drive in me to eat something and me going, no, 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 and how I could actually lose the damn argument and eat the food anyway. I mean, how odd is that you can't win an argument with yourself? This is Katie Gordon, and you're listening to the Wait is Over podcast. Welcome, health and freedom seekers. Sit back and relax as you come on this journey of overcoming obstacles so you can lose weight, gain health, and live the life you've been looking for. Hello, listeners, and welcome to this week's show. I'm your host, Katie Gordon, and the wait is over with Dietless Living 360 degrees. There's no recipes, food regimes, or exercise programs to follow. This is simply about how to take your life back, how to take control, because we all have a voice and we want to be heard. We want to forget about dieting, focus on living, and lose weight. But to do that, we need to create a new mindset, a mindset that gets us over the obstacles and challenges of life and our own unconscious programs, because that's ultimately what's really impacting on our weight and health and causing habit relapse. And the purpose of this podcast is to share with you what I learned over 25 years in dieting hell and spending over $100,000 working out how to step into dietless living. And today we're talking about when we think there's something wrong with us because we just don't think that we have any willpower at all. I always thought that there was literally something wrong with me because I simply couldn't say no. I wondered why I just could not control myself sometimes. Sometimes I could. Sometimes I couldn't. A lot of times I felt like a locust on a wheat field, and why I ate food that I knew I didn't want to eat because it wasn't helping me achieve my weight loss and health goals, but there I would be eating them. And I was so frustrated with myself by my lack of willpower, and I was absolutely bewildered that I would argue with myself over having something. There's this drive in me to eat something and me going, no, 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 and how I could actually lose the damn argument and eat the food anyway. I mean, how odd is that you can't win an argument with yourself? I just wanted to say no, and that be the end of the damn argument. And everybody just said, well, you just lack willpower. You don't have the discipline to make a change. Like, you haven't got the discipline in yourself. And it's like, well, what's willpower? And that question, what is willpower, plagued me for years. I never really understood what willpower is. Sure, willpower is when you say you will not do something that you normally want to do. But what is it? Like, what is willpower? It's this intangible thing that some people seem to have and some of us don't have. I certainly didn't have willpower. And then I heard a story about what willpower is, like a great metaphor for it. So imagine, those big coloured beach balls that you used to have when you were a child, or maybe you still have one. They're very fun and they float in the water. And if you try to hold down a beach ball and hold it underwater, you can hold it there for as long as you can hold it there, right? But the minute you get tired or distracted or you let go, boop, it pops back up. This is what our habits are exactly. This is our habit. We're trying to hold down a habit with effort and energy and perseverance. But the minute that we become distracted, poof, up it comes again. And what happens when we become distracted? We get tired. It's the end of the day. It's the end of the week. A new stress comes in. Something distracts us. And that's, poof, when we find ourselves eating something. And often that whole thing about being a locust on a wheat field for me was, I've been holding that down for so long. And eventually when my grip would release, that would be up and I wouldn't be able to get it back down, to be off and racing. And the reality is that fighting with ourselves is futile because we simply can't win a fight that we don't understand. And we don't understand what our habits actually are. We don't understand what's actually happening. And we can't keep ignoring the fact that we are a human being. We're not robots. We can't just ignore the fact that we have trained ourselves to do certain things and that we have programs running inside of us that we've set and that we need to make a change. And in a world where leadership is so highly coveted, why aren't we seeking to actually be able to lead ourselves with those same values, with the values of community, of listening, of understanding, of creating team? Why aren't we doing that? Because changing our diet is essential if we want to lose weight, but because nothing about our unhealthy habits makes any sense except in the light of our unconscious mind, we need to understand our own 3 systems of health consciousness. And we need to be able to develop our own personal health leadership skills so that we can lose weight naturally through sustainable habit change, which means allowing that ball to come to the surface and dealing with what its function is, why it's there. So 3 tips to actually get started is stress less. Under stress, our brain doesn't invent new strategies for dealing with it. It goes back to the ones that it knows. And if we've been using food, pop, that's the ball popping up. So to make a change, we have to change, which means that we need to change the way we think, feel, and deal with life, because it's how we think, feel, and deal with life that is attached to these habits. Remember, everything is a dominoes fall. Number 2 is relax more. We need more mental, emotional, and physical relaxation. Relaxation is actually working with your system and stepping out of living in that state of survival that is associated with stress. When you're living in stress, you're living in this state of survival. When you're living in a state of relaxation, you're living in a state of synergy. It's easier to have a conversation with somebody when you're all calm. Isn't that right? And thirdly, we need to just loosen up. We need to really love ourselves and love our life right now, just as they are, not waiting for some future time when our life is perfect and we've got the happy body that we like. It's about loosening up, loving ourselves, treating ourselves with respect. Isn't this the essence of great team and leadership, is respecting everybody? So we need to respect ourselves, and that means stop trying to manipulate ourselves with restrictive diets, going on keto. I know there's a lot of health benefits that are apparently associated with the keto diets, the less carbs, and I agree with almost all of that. I agree with not eating lollies. I agree with not eating potato chips. I agree with not having, loads of pasta and rice. But there's a part of it I don't agree with. I don't agree with restricting fruit. I don't agree with restricting vegetables. We need to eat a balanced diet, which means reducing carbs and eating only carbs that have actual nutrient value for us. So, these restrictive diets, that's where we're manipulating our body. When we're doing intensive exercise, we're trying to manipulate our bodies, to be something that it's got to work really hard at. Exercise is absolutely imperative to great health, but taking supplements to help manipulate fat burners, all sorts of other vitamins and things that are taken to enhance this body beautiful experience and get you there quicker. It's the whole get you there quicker thing that we have to get rid of, because that is not loosening up, that is not relaxation, and that is more stress on your body. You want to relax your body. So we want to experience life, which means slowing down a little bit. It's time to just step into the fact that everything in life takes time. And if we are going to actually have the health, happiness, and fitness and experiences of life that we want, it's going to take some time to get there. When we understand ourselves, only then can we really prevent habit relapse. So thank you for watching or listening today. If you want more help with this, please just book in for a private session and let's just get it done this week, because life is for living and an ounce of adjustment is always easier to implement than 20 pounds of change. It's time to enjoy the life you've been looking for.